What's up, boys? So today we're working on the Civic again. We're gonna do brakes and rotors in the rear. I'm gonna save the front for a different day, but can't wait to get new wheels too, because these are fucking fucked. But we got the drilled and slotted rotors on this side and the new pads. I just have to do the other side. I ran out of daylight yesterday, so we just got to get this side done. The pads don't even look bad, they look brand new, but I'm just going to change them because we have brand new shit anyways. But let me get this all jacked up, and then we'll get the wheel off, and then I'll pick. Alright, so we get this jacked up, get these jack stands, and the good thing about this is this guy has a trailer hitch on here, so it makes as a pretty good and easy jack point. So we'll just set that like that, and we'll get these ready on each side, and then I just gotta find that and 19. Of course, it's not on there. I think it's right here. Good. And then what I like to do is just break them loose. Oh, when they're on the ground. God damn. We need an impact, boys. This one. God damn, bro. Loosen this down a little bit. I'm picking the whole car up. Hold up. Alright, boys, so we got it loosened. A little bit of WD-40. Let it sit for a couple minutes, and then just use a big ass breaker bar. But now we can get this in the air. Yo, bro. You gotta be kidding me right now. I don't think there's enough play in this fucking jack to get this fucking tire off. But we'll see. Alright. Just pop these guys off. Set those there. Shit. I just lost my key. There it is. You need this to go on the end. So take off this one. Now you got that one there. Now we can try to see if we can get this wheel off. Oh, just enough room. Slide that there. Now we got access to these. These things are shot. We're getting all new suspension. I'm ordering next week, so probably next week or like 2 weeks we'll get the video on that. Now we just got to get this off. It's, I believe, a 14 mil or 12 mil, and then we'll pop this off, and then it's just the two, I believe, 14 mils in the back, caliper bracket to come off. pop the caliper off, and then we can put in all this new stuff. All right. From previous experience from doing the other side, this side looks like the caliper has been changed, so it shouldn't be bad. But either way, we're gonna douse this thing in WD-40. Try to get all the bolts that you know you're gonna have to take out. And then you might also have to get that brake bolt right there and on the back there. And then just let that sit for a couple minutes, and then we'll start taking this out. All right, so first thing we'll do is get on right here. Give her a little persuasion. That one's out. This one too. A little tap. And then they're out. And then what I like to do is just stick them on my plate right there. And then you can pop this right off. All right. So we just get these bolts. These are also 14 millimeter. Put it on like that. Give her a little hammer. They'll come right out. Of course, I kind of fucked myself just now. Come on, here we go. Take that out. Put that on your plate. And then you want to just move this caliper out of the way. And you can actually get this in between them. A little hammer. And she's right out. Then you just gotta get your socket and tool out of there. Just let that drop, I guess. You don't really have to pull these out. They can just sit in there, but I like to keep everything together. And now we can, this should just come right off. There we go. And throw that away. And then you guys really should clean up this, for the rotor, so it can sit flush against the hub, but I don't really give a fuck. So what we can do is take this. I'll change these gloves quick. And now we can open this. Sometimes you should spray these with brake cleaner too before you use them. Sometimes it helps get all the oils and stuff off. Me, I don't fucking care about a 2008 Civic that much. Now, what I usually do is, since these don't really have, they don't stick good to the rotor, I like to put at least 2 lug nuts on there to hold it flush. So do that one, and then probably this side. Now she's flush against the hub, and you can get your caliper bracket back on, set your brake pads on there, and then this goes right over top. So let's get this on, and then I'll get back to you guys when I'm doing the brake pads. All right, boys. So we're on the brake pads now. For these Civics, they have this has to go on the back side on the bottom, so it won't ever mess you up. So you just put them in there like that, put them in there like that. Don't worry about that. This just sits in here for now. Just let that sit there. Alright, and you want to take this, stick that in there, and then you can just kind of, there you go. Now you got both your brake pads in there, your caliper bracket is on there. Now all you have to do is put this on. I do want to try to get this pushed in a little more, so I have to go grab my caliper tool. I feel like I might be able to do it, but at this angle with just that little 1/4 inch sticking out, it's kind of gonna be a pain in the ass, so I'd like to just make it easy as possible. And then let me go grab that out of my shed back there, and then I'll be right back with you guys. All right, boys. So we got the piston pushed back in and twisted. All we got to do is put it up and around. Oh, fuck. I forgot my little thing on there. 1 second. Just right up here. Slide that guy in there. Alright, now that that's in there, now you can put it kind of like this. There you are, there's that. And you want to grab one of your bolts, find the hole, get it in there, get your other bolt. And it's going to want to pop out because of the spring. So what you want to do is just push her in there. And once you get in there, you get her started like that. And then don't worry about the pendulum. And then you can take this stuff. And now you can put it all back together. 1, 2. Alright, now this one. Give her a couple hits. She ain't going nowhere. And now take this. Take those off. Okay. And all right, boys. So we got it up there. And take these. Make sure you're flush. That on there. Put that on. That one. Number 4. This one you need the key. Right. Give this one a couple more. Okay. Now we can let her down, tighten them, and we're all done. All right, boys. Rotors, pads on that side, and good on that side too. I think I have my new shift boot coming in, so we can get rid of this ugly crusty one. We'll put that on if it comes today. It says it is, but we all know shipping places, so we'll see. And then the end of today, we're definitely going to take it for a car wash. I have iron remover, so we'll see if we can get all this fucking orange rust off the back bumper. If not, I'll order a new rear bumper. I'm not too worried about it. I'm debating on doing the fronts today, or if I just want to wait on the fronts, which I might wait till it gets a little warmer. The fronts definitely aren't as bad as the rears were, but definitely could do them too. So I'll probably pick up back to you guys when the shift boot comes. And if the shift boot doesn't come, I'll pick up to you guys once we get to the car wash later on. Alright, boys. So actually, while we're waiting, I'm just going to pop this old shift boot off so we can get ready for the new one when it comes. We could just slap it on real quick. All it is 4 T20 bolts, so they're all pretty easy to take out with just a simple Allen wrench. And then once we get this out, this whole black piece should come up, which locks the shift boot in place. Pick that up like this. and the shift boot is stapled to it. But what we'll do is we'll take this and just get under these staples. Pull them up, at least on one side. And you'll be able to get all of them released. There's so many for no fucking reason. And I keep stabbing myself for no reason. Once you get all of them up, what I'll do is take this with a simple set of needle nose, pull them all out. That side, this side. And they're all out. Shift boot come right out. You don't have to transfer this piece unless you are keeping the stock shift knob, because the stock shift knob actually clips in. If you can kind of see the bigger 4 holes at the top and the 2 at the bottom, they clip right in there. So I'm not using the stock shift knob or the boot, so toss that in the garbage. Keep this, and then once your shift boot comes in, what you do is you'll run your shift boot head first up through here, and then the base you'll just kind of clamp on here like that and just tighten this together, and it'll sandwich the bottom in here, if you kind of see what I'm saying. Once it gets here, I'll kind of show you guys better. Then we'll do that, and I'll catch up with you guys when the shift boot actually gets here. What's up, boys? So we're back. Shift boot finally came in today. We got the suede black with the red stitching to match that and that. I'm also gonna change this out quick to the red H. All we got to do is first I gotta pop the shift knob off, and then we can feed this up through here, kind of like that, and then this will sandwich on the back of it. So let me pop this off, and then I'll get back to you guys. So we got this on here, basically how it's gonna go, give you guys kind of a look. You just kind of set that in there like that, and then you take your middle piece and you kind of want to just put it where it's gonna line up, and then you can just push it down, and then all you got to do is get your screws through there. And then you put this on like that, and she'll be sitting like that, kind of like that. So let me get these screwed in and popped on, and then I'll get right back with you guys. So we got it in. It should look like this when you're done. All the bolts are in. She ain't going nowhere. Now all you have to do is stick that in there, and then you can go like that. Clips right in, and then that can push down. You take your nut, stick that in there, put one of these on, helps me tighten that bitch, like that, and then this will sit like this. Just like that, and that's straight. And now we got a shift boot. Now all we got to do is change this quick. I need to take this fucking stupid steering wheel cover off, because who the fuck drives with a steering wheel cover? Oh, I see why they took it off. Actually, we might just leave that on there. Looks like we'll be ordering a new steering wheel. Alright, let's get to this, and then I'll give you guys the plans on what else we have to do for this week. Alright, so we got our red H. What we'll do is just take this, and lift up on the sides. And it should come right up like that. And then all you got to do is take your new one, pull your 3M tape backing back, and then line it up to where you want it. And then just like that. I kind of take that off, helps you be able to see a little better. And it should go like that. The wheel's not straight, so right there, and then just kind of hold it on there without holding the horn down. Just hold this down for about 10-15 seconds, and then we can see the final product. So this is how we're looking with the red H. It definitely looks a lot better than the Jay's Racing one. We got our shift knob finally straightened out. That bothers me when it's not perfectly straight. We got our suede shift boot, looking good. The only thing, we have the new gauge face coming, and we're also getting a new one of these in red, like the SI version instead of blue. Then other than that, we have suspension being ordered next week. What else we got? Then after the suspension, it'll be front lip, side skirts, and rear diffuser. So that's how she's sitting for probably a week or so. Actually get to drive it now, and then once the suspension comes, we'll be making another video. See you boys later.